Why do some younger women ignore confident young men and become interested in older men? A younger woman walks into a room full of confident, attractive young men, yet somehow her attention keeps drifting toward the older guy standing quietly in the corner. He's not the loudest. He's not trying the hardest. He isn't competing for attention. And yet, he's the one she remembers. Why? Is it because he's older? Or is there something happening beneath the surface that most people completely miss? Here's the truth. What attracts younger women to certain older men has very little to do with wrinkles, gray hair, or age itself. It has everything to do with how those men make people feel. And once you understand that, you'll stop chasing attraction.
And start becoming the kind of man attraction naturally follows. Because the qualities we're about to talk about aren't reserved for men in their 40s, 50s, or 60s. They're available to any man willing to grow. But here's the catch. Very few ever do. Let's begin. The biggest lie about attraction? Most men have been taught that attraction is simple. Be more handsome. Make more money, dress better, drive a nicer car. And while those things might get someone's attention, they rarely keep it. Because attention isn't the same as attraction. Real attraction is emotional. It's about how someone feels when they're around you. Think about the people you've never forgotten. Chances are, it wasn't because they were perfect. It was because they made you feel something. Safe. Seen, respected, understood. That's exactly what many younger women experience around emotionally mature men. Not because they're older, but because they create an emotional environment that feels different. In a world full of noise, they bring peace. And peace has become incredibly rare. Reason number 1, they make her feel safe, not anxious. Let's start with the most powerful quality of all, emotional safety. Notice I didn't say excitement. I didn't say mystery. I didn't say drama. Because those things burn hot, but they rarely last. Many younger women have experienced relationships filled with uncertainty, mixed signals, mind games, inconsistent affection. One day she's the center of his world. The next day, he's emotionally unavailable. Over time, that becomes exhausting. Now, imagine meeting someone completely different. A man whose words match his actions, who doesn't disappear after a disagreement, who doesn't need constant reassurance, who stays calm when life becomes difficult. That kind of consistency feels almost unfamiliar. And that's exactly why it stands out. People aren't just attracted to excitement. Eventually, they're attracted to peace. Reason number 2, he doesn't need to impress anyone. Have you ever noticed that the people trying hardest to look confident usually aren't? Real confidence is surprisingly quiet. Older men who've spent years learning from failure often stop trying to prove themselves. They don't argue over every opinion. They don't compete for attention. They don't desperately seek validation. They're comfortable being themselves. Ironically, that confidence becomes magnetic. Because confidence isn't saying, I'm better than everyone else. Confidence quietly says, I know who I am. And that's a completely different energy. The moment you stop performing, people begin connecting with the real you. Reason number 3, his life doesn't revolve around dating. Here's something that instantly changes how a man is perceived. Purpose. Many emotionally mature men have built lives that are meaningful beyond relationships. They have careers, passions, businesses, creative projects, friends, goals. Their happiness isn't dependent on someone texting back. And that changes everything. Because desperation pushes people away, purpose pulls people closer. Imagine two men. One spends every day wondering who likes him. The other spends every day building a life he genuinely enjoys. Which one feels more attractive? The answer is obvious. The irony is, the less your happiness depends on attracting someone, the more attractive you often become. Reason number 4, he knows how to listen. Most people don't listen. They wait for their turn to speak. They interrupt. They offer advice nobody asked for. They try to impress. But emotionally mature men often discover something much more powerful. Listening creates connection. When someone feels deeply heard, walls begin to come down. Imagine telling someone about your dreams, and instead of changing the subject, they become curious. Imagine sharing your fears, and instead of judging you, they simply understand. Those moments create emotional intimacy. Not flashy compliments, not clever pickup lines, just genuine presence. Sometimes, the most attractive thing a man can say is very little. If you are getting value from the video and this channel, take a moment to like, subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Let's continue. Reason number 5, he leads with calm instead of ego. Life isn't always easy. Relationships aren't always smooth. Conflict is inevitable. The question is, how do you respond? Emotionally immature people react. Emotionally mature people respond. There's a difference. When something goes wrong, a grounded man doesn't panic. He doesn't explode. He doesn't disappear. He communicates. He takes responsibility. He protects the relationship instead of protecting his pride. That's emotional leadership. Not control, not dominance. Leadership begins with leading yourself. And when someone feels they can rely on your emotional stability, trust grows naturally. Here's where many men get it wrong. Now, this is important. Some men hear all of this and immediately think, so I just need to become richer. No. Money can create comfort. It cannot create character. Status may attract attention. It cannot create emotional safety. Expensive gifts cannot replace genuine presence. If someone only loves what you own, they'll leave when someone else owns more. Real attraction grows from who you are, not what you display. Never confuse wealth with worth. So, what really attracts younger women to older men? It's not the age. It's not the gray hair. It's not the expensive watch. It's the emotional experience they create. The calm, the confidence, the purpose, the stability, the quiet strength that says, I don't need to prove my value because I already know it. That's the kind of presence people remember. And the good news is, you don't have to wait another decade to become that man. You can start today. One conversation, one habit, one decision at a time. Because every choice you make is shaping the man you'll become tomorrow. So instead of asking, how do I attract younger women? Ask yourself, how do I become a man who brings peace instead of pressure, confidence instead of insecurity, and purpose instead of confusion? Become that man, and attraction becomes a byproduct of who you are, not a game you have to play. If this video gave you a new perspective, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos on relationships, psychology, and personal growth. And before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Which quality do you think is the most attractive in a man? Calm confidence emotional stability, purpose, deep listening, or emotional leadership? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective might help someone else who's watching.